Winston Churchill meets President Donald Trump, a timeless debate on global power and leadership. In this compelling audio experience, two of history's most iconic leaders, Winston Churchill, the British Prime Minister who led the UK through World War II, and Donald Trump, the current President of the United States, have an imagined conversation about the state of the world today. The conversation explores their outlook on leadership, the ongoing war in Ukraine, the rise of global power dynamics, and what the future holds for freedom and democracy. Drawing from Churchill's indomitable spirit and Trump's commanding presence in today's political landscape, this conversation will transport you to a world where two great minds reflect on the present global order, the lessons of history, and the challenges of the future.
Mr. President, it is an honor to meet you today. The world seems to be on the precipice of great change. As I once said, never in the field of human conflict was so much owed by so many to so few. But today I look at the war in Ukraine and I ask myself, do we still have the courage to stand united against tyranny? Do we have the strength to protect freedom in the face of growing threats from Russia and beyond?
Winston, I agree with you. Freedom is at stake. Under my leadership, I've been very clear. We need strength. Strengthen our military, strengthen our alliances, and strengthen our economy. Ukraine is fighting for its survival. I feel they are weak and need our help. Yes. Right now, I see weakness. We're not giving Ukraine anything until we know what's in it for us. We need to be tougher with Russia. Stronger sanctions. More dialogue with Ukraine. More military resources. Under my administration, Russia knew we were tough. We didn't back down. Oh, we are the toughest. And that's what this situation needs now.
Mr. President, you do speak with vigor. But I've seen wars before. Wars that began with hesitation, with a failure to act when the time was right. Courage is rightly esteemed the first of human qualities because it is the quality which guarantees all others. What I see now is a world that has grown hesitant. Can the West, especially under your leadership, show the resolve necessary to stop this aggression? Do you truly believe the free world can unite to prevent a larger catastrophe?
I have no doubt that the world can unite, Winston. But it's about leadership. Under my leadership, I'm making sure America is strong. We're rebuilding the military, and I standing firm against our adversaries, whether it was Russia, China, or anyone else. Look at what we are accomplishing. MAGA isn't just a slogan. It's about putting our country, our allies, and our people first. And that means leading from the front, making sure others follow. Right now, the U.S. has being taken advantage of by weak past leadership. We need a strong, bold stance. That's how we'll win this.
The world was once united in the cause of freedom, Mr. President. The price of greatness is responsibility. In my time, I took responsibility, as I know you do. But today, I fear that responsibility is being lost in the noise of politics and populism. It seems the leaders of the world are fractured, China growing in power, Russia's ambitions expanding, and Europe at times struggling to find its resolve. Is there still room for a strong, united West? Can we defeat these threats when the lines between nations and ideologies are increasingly blurred?
You're right, Winston. This world is changing and fast. But that's exactly why we need strength. Under my administration, I said, America will not apologize for its power. We don't back down, and we don't let others push us around. We stand tall and show the world we won't be intimidated. The problem is that leadership today is weak. That's why Russia and China think they can get away with what they're doing. But we need to be clear. There is no room for weakness. We need a global system that respects power, and America must lead the charge.
Mr. President, your confidence is admirable. But we must remember that the greatest wars are not always fought with weapons. They are fought with words, with ideas, with the will to act. The farther backward you can look, the farther forward you are likely to see. Looking back on the days of war, I saw how important it was to inspire the people, to ignite their passion for a cause greater than themselves. Do you believe the American people are still willing to stand for such a cause, to fight for something larger than their own interests?
Absolutely, Winston. The American people are stronger than ever. They want leadership. They want action. I see it every day in my presidency. The people want someone who would fight for them, someone who won't back down. I always said, if you're not willing to fight for what's right, then what's the point? The American people want strength, security, and prosperity. And they want to know their leaders are doing everything they can to ensure that future. And they're willing to support that vision. But we need to make sure that vision is bold and clear.
And yet, Mr. President, to each, there comes in their lifetime a special moment when they are figuratively tapped on the shoulder and offered the chance to do a very special thing, unique to them and fit for their talents. I wonder if the world is at such a moment now. The question is not just about military might or political tactics, but about the moral fiber of those who lead. Do you believe that we can, in this time, inspire a new era of courage, of unity, that will rise to meet the challenges ahead?
I believe we can, Winston. But it's about making sure the right leaders step up. We have the opportunity right now. This is the moment for America, for the West, to show the world what we stand for. And not just by being a tough guy, which we are, but by being smart, by being strategic. I always said, you have to be smarter than the other guy. The world needs that leadership right now, and we will rise to the occasion. It's about putting the right people in charge and making sure we have the vision and the strength to guide the world through these difficult times.
Then, Mr. President, I trust that you will lead with the same resolve that has carried so many through difficult times before. You must remember that the future is shaped not by what we achieve alone, but by the unity we inspire in others. We shall not fail or falter. We shall not weaken or tire. That was my rallying cry, and perhaps it is the cry the world needs once again.
We're going to make it happen, Winston. We will fight for our values, for freedom, and for the future. The best is yet to come. America will never be a nation that bows down to others. We will always stand tall and strong. That's the vision I'm committed to. And together, we will make sure it's a vision that stands the test of time.
As the conversation winds down, Winston Churchill's wisdom and President Donald Trump's boldness merge, providing a fascinating reflection on global leadership and the future of democracy. The world may be facing its greatest challenges yet, but the power of unity, strength, and courage continues to guide those who lead. The question remains, will the world stand together to preserve freedom, or will history repeat itself?
This was an AI-generated audiobook short, where we create fascinating conversations between two of the most influential minds in history and today's world. Who would you like to see come together next? Let us know in the comments. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another thought-provoking discussion. Thanks for listening, and remember, great conversations shape great minds. Subscribe for more AI-generated dialogues that bring history and wisdom to life.